After the Group A finals last week, where we saw Paparazzo and Cora making the first two spots in the Super Six, we're meeting Group B for the first time this week as five brand new singers compete, and it's Voices of Olympus Night, which is just such a great theme. It was basically Greek gods, goddesses, etc. We met Group B for the first time, and one singer was unmasked by the end. We've got a lot to talk about in this week's recap and review of The Masked Singer Season 13, so let's get straight into the video. So yes, so like I mentioned, it was this past few days. It was Voices of Olympus Night of The Masked Singer Season 13. I really enjoyed the episode, and also honestly, this is actually, again, just like Group B. This is actually a very solid group of singers. Like, there was no one like terribly bad. This group, if I'm brutally honest, so it was a very very good episode. Excuse me, I'm very tired. But yeah, so that's that. Honestly, I loved the whole theme of the whole Greek gods, goddesses thing. It was just such an interesting, fun, intro kind of theme night. And I just honestly, I just loved it. But yeah, if you've noticed, what's been going on right now, I've been kind of really struggling with stuff. And to be honest with you, I think if you guys you know, and I think my friendship with Bonkers has unfortunately come to an end, which I think after what's been going on, what I've been doing, I'm not complaining. It's understandable, but we won't talk about that right now. Let's talk about the Masked Singer, and also Prince Got Talent is back tomorrow night, so I'm very looking forward to seeing that. You'll get the ranking out tomorrow. I will probably do the kind of the covering of the images, because for some reason it just partially blocking it for me. I got no idea why. They didn't do it last year, but it's probably for something else this year. I just assumed it was Vinny McKee's performance, but no, it's just I don't know. I don't know what's going on lately with. I honestly, I got no idea what's going on with Prince Got Talent for copyright. But it is what it is. As long as it's visible, you guys can see it. That's all I care about. So yeah. But anyways, I think we should talk about the Masked Singer Group B premiere, Voices of Olympus Night. So let's get straight into the recap. Starting off with probably, I think, already my favorite one in the group so far, Boogie Woogie, who performed, I believe, in a thing called "Love by the Darkness." I have not heard that song in quite a long time, and for those who don't know, it was actually Justin Hawkins' song, who was the chameleon back in the Masked Singer UK in season 1. So that was that. I'm very tired today. Excuse me, but this was a fantastic debut performance if I ever saw one. His showmanship was off the scale. His voice and the falsetto was really, really good as well. So, honestly, this was a perfect debut performance to see him, and I think he's definitely be the fan favorite for this group. And I could see him making it very far in the competition. I think he is excellent. Very, very good showmanship, great voice, just absolutely fantastic pipes in him, just fantastic. So, the guess I have for Boogie Woogie, first of all, I'm gonna say I've seen loads of people saying Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco. And even when I posted my TikTok, where on my TikTok I post the performances, etc. And a lot of people were actually saying Brendan Urie, and I was just like, I mean, I can understand where they come from, the clues and the voice sounds similar, but for me, I think it's too obvious to be Brendan. And honestly, I just can't see him doing the show at this rate. I love him to do it, but I think he's too famous to do the show as well. So while I can see people saying him, I don't think it is Brendan Urie. But so very tired, eh? I do have another guess. I do have this is actually my actual guess, and I was briefly thinking of someone else, but then I saw everyone saying it, and the voice makes so much sense, and I think it is Andy Grammer. And honestly, I have not heard this song for quite a while. I think the last time I heard it was the one Snapdragon performed on the Mastering Australia. I can't remember what it was called. I think it was one of his songs. But let's go through the clues. Excuse me. Oh, I'm very tired today. So, anyways, let's go through the clues for Boogie Woogie. So he mentioned about being a clown, and Andy once said he wanted to be a clown to make people laugh. Um, the magic hat. I've connected it for two reasons. He won a talent competition in high school where he actually did magic, and he also has a song called Magic. The magazine, his second album was called The Magazine of Novels. Piano, he plays the piano. I think and as you can see, he plays many instruments. He plays the guitar, he plays the piano, and the quarters. Now we saw the quarters, but they're actually facing up, which I'll get into in just a second. My first reference is because he was a busker. He before his career, he actually started out as a busker in Santa Monica, in uni. But going back to the quarters, they were facing up, and this is, I think, is a very subtle clue here. Like I managed to point out, that could be a brief reference to his song "Keep Your Head Up." Again, I could be manifesting this a little bit, but that's what I got. And okay, I will, like I mentioned, I can hear similarities to Brendan Urie and Andy Grammer, but like I mentioned, I just think Brendan Urie is far too famous right now to do the show. I mean, like I mentioned, I'd love to see him do the show, but I just think he's got way too much of a recognizable voice. Like the falsetto, I can understand, so I'm not denying that, but I just don't think it's Brendan Urie. But also Rita, Mika. Mika, I'm sorry, but there is no way Mika's that famous in America. I think he may have had that one number hit, which was Grace Kelly. That's the only song I know of him. But no, that's definitely not Mika's voice. Like he would never ever do the Masked Singer. I mean, it would be a miracle if he actually did it one day, but I don't think it is him. So I mean, it's definitely not Mika, definitely not him. But my guess for I don't think it is Brendan Urie, although I can't hear the similarities. But I am sticking with my guess of Andy Grammer, and honestly, he is. I think he's set the bar very high for Group B so far. I think he could definitely make it. I think he's going to be really one to look out for, and especially for Group B, I can see him making it very far, if I say so myself. And then next up, we had Space Ranger. Excuse me. And this one I am without a doubt confident on. Like this one I've literally got this down. I just know who this is. So he performed "Bad Blood" by Taylor Swift. I think it's the first time we've had a Taylor Swift song on the show, which is pretty cool. And he did a pretty decent job on the song. And with my guest being a rapper, even though he's not very known for his singing, he's got a pretty decent voice, right, if I say so. But even going through the clues, and I've got the clues here, but there's one clue that Nick mentioned, and it was literally a dead giveaway. Even if I didn't go through the other clues, that and the voice alone just confirms it. Like, come on, it's Flavor Flav. I've listened to enough Flavor Flav to know it is Flavor Flav. But we'll go for the clues anyways. The report card. He actually supported multiple. He has supported multiple sports teams, and is the hype man for the U.S. women's water polo team. Then we saw the House of Cards. His short-lived restaurant in Vegas is actually called Flavor Flav's House of Flavor, which just sounds like such a cool name. The Candy Heart Box. He was on a dating show called Flavor and Love, and then probably the most obvious clue is the clock symbol on his belt. Literally, his signature clock necklace, as he always wears it. And honestly, if I have to say, I bet I really hope he wears the Flavor Flav clock necklace when he gets on Mars, and they give him his necklace. Honestly, cause for me, he would sound very empty. He would look very empty without it. But honestly, it's without a doubt Flavor Flav. The voice is so distinct, it's so recognizable, but even if I didn't go for the clues, that the belt clue was almost a dead giveaway. So I can't wait to see them. I can't wait to see him next week because honestly, I think he's definitely an underrated contestant. I don't. I was hoping him to be good when I first saw the trailer. When I first saw the the pro the thing, what's it called, the promo photo. I was hoping he'd be good, and while he wasn't as good as I hoped he was going to be, I still enjoyed this performance regardless. It was definitely a decent performance at best. Then we had the Griffin perform next up, and he did Rewrite the Stars from The Greatest Showman, a brilliant song from a brilliant movie. I love The Greatest Showman. It's such a good song as well. And Zac Efron and Zendaya did that song incredibly, and I loved, and also Lamar did that song he actually did an album of the songs he did on The Last Singer's Cricket, and he did Rewrite the Stars, but he did it with someone else instead of Charlotte Church, which I found pretty interesting. But yeah, this was a very solid performance overall. I really enjoyed it, and honestly, I think he really made the song his own because this is primarily a duet song, but I think he made it his own, which I really liked. Um, so now the guess I have for Griffin is an interesting one because I was thinking Freddie Prinze Jr., which Rita did mention. I was indeed thinking that, but I think going through the clues and what online is saying, I think it is Jason Vanderbeek, and we'll go through the clues for him quickly. And that is we saw the badge, and he has appeared on multiple criminal investigation shows such as Criminal Minds, Law and Order, and CSI. The bell, that made me think because the school bell. I was like thinking, oh, is he made like a cameo in High School? Every time I see a bell, I always think of High School Musical, but he wasn't in High School Musical. He actually had a role in Clarissa in a role in a kind of a show called Clarissa explains it all, and it takes place in a high school. The tape with then we saw the pumpkin and it had tape around it. I think that is a reference to the short film he was in called The Final Draft. That could be a stretch. I'm not too sure. And he mentioned about a fan taking dirt from his car. Now, he actually mentioned in an interview this actually happened. So, you know, that's an interesting clue there. And you know, that scared me there. Hang on, folks. Hang on. Oh, sorry about that, folks. As I was saying, going for the clues. Those are basically as many clues I can connect to Jason Vanderbeek. And you know, I've never heard him sing before, but I have to say he has got a decent singing voice. If this is him, you let me know in the comments below. Do you know if he's actually done have like a singing career? Because, like I mentioned, I've got no idea about him, and I know he's an actor, but I don't know if he's ever done singing before. Because, like I mentioned, he has got a decent singing voice. It's pretty good actually, I must admit, but I don't really know. Um, but yeah, like I mentioned, it was a very solid performance. So that's Griffin, and next up we had the contestant eliminated, which was the Bat, and she performed Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter, and I don't think it was the worst. I do think it was the weakest performance of the night, but at the same time, it wasn't like atrocious. Nobody was actually like horrendous this episode. But I think I had a feeling she would be the one going home. It felt kind of like she was doing like a karaoke. Like there wasn't much stage presence she had, in my opinion. But that's just me. But I will say she was pretty good. She was decent. She was decent. So she was unmasked, and it was revealed to be, and I know who she was. And it was revealed to be, and I'm going to butcher her name, Skinena Shay. I know I've butchered that name completely. I apologize. But she is a reality TV personality. She was in Vanderpump Rules, which I only know that show because I've known not only Lisa Vanderpump, but also that complete jerk that was on The Masked Singer back in season 10, which was Tom Sandoval, who was the diver. And like I mentioned, I will say, while he was pretty good at singing, I still think he's a complete jerk as well. I just think he's a complete jerk, man, because of what he always behave about his, because his behavior on the show was on the Vanderpump Rules was very in a very just horrible. It was horrible. Um, but yeah, she mentioned, I thought she did. I actually thought she did pretty well. I mean, again, I don't really know her. I don't watch reality TV shows. I don't watch Vanderpump Rules. I don't watch Love Island, Big Brother. Like, I just hate those other shows, in my opinion. But she did the show, so good on her. And I think she even mentioned that her daughter is actually afraid of bats. So, which is honestly so sweet. Honestly, honestly, I just can't. I bet her daughter's gonna actually love this show because of this. I bet she's gonna love bats after this because her mum did the show, which is gonna be awesome. Honestly, honestly, she actually seems really nice as well. So I gotta give her credit. So Shay, I'm gonna call you Shay because I don't want to butcher your first name. But Shay, thank you so much for doing the Masked Singer. You were great on it, and you did very well. You did very well for a non-professional singer. So good on you. And then we had the final performance of the night, being Pearl, who performed "Saving All My Love for You," an all-time classic Whitney Houston track, and she absolutely delivered on this performance. It was absolutely fantastic, And I mean, to take on Whitney Houston, I mean, who is, in my opinion, one of the best singers the world's ever heard. Like, her vocals were just absolutely astounding, and she is still a sensational singer. I still listen to her music on a daily basis. I Have Nothing, I Always Love You. Her voice was just absolutely phenomenal, and I thought Pearl did a very good job on this performance. It really was a fabulous, fabulous performance, and it was just incredible. I will say I actually really like this rendition because I think she really kind of stuck to the script in a way. And when Robo Bunny did it on the Masked Singer UK, while I preferred, I still think this was amazing performance, but I think Robo Bunny definitely did this performance better because I think the way, because he started off the lower range, and then in the second verse he did the kind of the higher range of singing, um I mean, Mark Feely is such a phenomenal talent as well for doing that. I mean, Robo Bunny's got to be one of the most unique contestants we've ever had in the history of the Masked Singer, because the way he changed his voice from the lower kind of like range voice to the high pitch, not high pitch, but the higher kind of voice, I guess, in a way. But it was a really, well, I really did. I personally think Bob Bunny's performance of this song is untouchable. I still really enjoyed it, regardless. So it was definitely one of the one of the best performances of the night, along with Boogie Woogie. So the guest for Pearl I have now. We'll mention this. I was actually thinking between someone else before I switched my guess. So my original guess for Pearl, listen to the voice alone, I was thinking Kiki Palmer because I could hear bits of her voice in the performance, and I know Kiki Palmer is a phenomenal singer. I don't think she gets enough credit, if I'm honest with you. I think she deserves way more credit because she's got such a beautiful voice. Like, she honestly, she's just so underrated in my opinion. But I listen back and I don't hear, and it's definitely not her. It's definitely not Kiki Palmer because the clues don't match up. But the other guest which I have, which I think a lot of people online are agreeing each other with, is I might butcher a name. I apologize if I do butcher your name. Gretchen Wilson, who is a country singer, and she has that number one um what was the number one hit called? Redneck Lady, Redneck Woman. That's what it was. That's her one hit wonder, I think. But this is definitely her. Um, Listen back to the voice. It definitely makes sense for it to be her. We'll go through the clues quickly. The baseball. She performed the national anthem at a 2004 baseball game. I don't know if it was the World Series or anything. I don't know. The umbrella. One of her songs has actually featured the word umbrella in it. I'm not too sure which one. The cherries. I think this is again. This could be a. a slight, reference, but she did a duet with she did a collab with the band Buckcherry, who are a rock band. They're from Anaheim. It has who is that? It has Josh Todd, Stevie D. I don't know any of them. I don't really know who any of them are. I don't know. I don't really know. Anyways, so she did a collab with them, and the dive bar. And this is a one. This is an interesting fact I never knew about. And she, hang on. Well, stop with that, folks. It's quite late now, so I'm going to try and keep my noise down a little bit, but okay, be a bit quiet, I guess. But the dive bar. She actually worked as a bartender. Before becoming a musician, which I never knew about. I don't know if I mentioned that already before I paused it quickly, but yeah, that's what she did before her musician career. But I definitely think it's Greenwich Wilson. I definitely think it's her. And yeah, I listened to the voice. It's definitely not Kiki Palmer like I thought, but yeah, I think we can all agree it's her. So that's it. That's all for this week's episode recap and review of the Mastering Season 13. Leave in the comments below your thoughts on the episode, the performances, and just I'd love to hear your thoughts. I am pretty confident now on all my guesses. The Kiki Palmer guess was just a brief guess, but it, it was just. But then I heard the voice. I was like, no, it's not Kiki Palmer. So that's this week. Next week is the Ghostbusters themed episode, which I'm really looking forward to seeing. We're going to see Ernie Hudson on the show. I don't know if we can see Ray Parker Jr. I'd love to see that. We've got Marshmallow Man. We've got the green monster slimy thing. Honestly, I just don't know. Honestly, this is going to be such a great episode. Who do you think is going home next week? And for me, it's kind of obvious because I think it's going to be Space Ranger. I don't think he's vocally bad, but I think out of the 4 remaining Group B singers, he is definitely the weakest. So I think he's the one going home. And also because I think we all know it's Flavor Flav at this rate, so it makes sense him to go home as soon as possible. But that's it for this week's recap and review of The Masked Singer Season 13 for Episode 4. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts, your guesses, and just thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, and with post notifications turned on, I would really appreciate that. But once again, thank you so much for watching this video, and of course, I'll see you guys next time.